Good evening, Star Warriors. Welcome back to our third episode of Starbase here on Rab and Mooch. Speaking of Rab and Mooch,
I'm Mooch.
This is Mooch. I am Rab, in case you haven't watched any of our two other videos as of right now. And basically, we're just going to talk about stuff to do with Star Wars. And our first section of the show is just the news section. So anything that's not completed yet, we'll talk about. And the first thing in the news section is Mike Quinn, who is playing Nien in The Force Awakens, recently tweeted out, he confirmed his role by tweeting out a picture of him barely in the background behind Finn. After that shot, I'll put the picture up, after that shot of where Poe Dameron walks past Finn and puts his hand on his shoulder. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, it's good to see Nien back.
Yeah. I mean, we saw him very briefly in the original trilogy, so it's kind of cool to see a sort of familiar face.
Yeah, he's a Resistance pilot. He seems like, unless Celestians live longer, I think he would be almost too old for it. But
yeah. Well, I mean, Han's still functioning and still helping, so, I mean, why not?
Yeah, but we don't know if he's flying the thing. But yeah, I guess he could still be a pilot and be old.
Yeah.
I guess there were a couple shots in Return of the Jedi where there were some older guys flying.
Yeah, like in their late 40s, the humans.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know the lifespan of a Celestian either.
Right.
All right. Well, that pretty much is it. Next in the news section is the official Battlefront trailer, released on YouTube, and just showed a little bit more footage.
Yeah.
Different kinds of planets that we've already seen.
Mm-hmm. So. I woke up, I've been sick for the past week, so you'll have to bear with me. I woke up one morning, I was flipping through Facebook, and I saw it on there. I didn't realize it was even released on YouTube until afterwards. As far as I gathered from the trailer, it looks a lot like they're pushing Walker Assault on the majority of the planets. So it's kind of nice to see that we'll get the majority of the maps with a Walker Assault variant, but at the same time, I think that's going to get old. We were talking about it. So far we see about 5 maps, and 3 of which they have Walker Assault on, and we're thinking the other 2 don't have one, at least not right now. They might be more close quarters maps. All in all, the game it looks great. It's gonna look the same to me from here on out. It's gonna look great. It's gonna be something I'm excited for. I can't wait. This time we actually got to see Luke go at it with Emperor Palpatine on what we believe to be Yavin 4. Maybe Yavin 4, it might be another planet. Could have been Endor. It's just a weird shot.
Yeah.
But actually, it looks like the base that they're on in The New Hope.
Okay.
Where Darth Vader and Luke are walking across that bridge. I can't remember what planet that is.
Endor.
Yeah. So I guess it could be Endor. It could not be. It could end up being Yavin 4. The Death Star might be in the background. No.
I'm not sure. I didn't get a good look.
I didn't get a good look at it either.
But it was neat to see just the new heroes that they added in action a little bit more.
Yeah, we got to see what we talked about last week: Leia, Han, and Emperor Palpatine. We got to see Boba Fett as well. So it's nice to see the new characters immediately, coming into a trailer. We got to see a cool little tidbits if you paid close attention, which is kind of what I was looking for. One of the characters is holding what looks to me like Boba Fett's gun, which is kind of cool. You get like a variant of the weapon that he carries for a primary weapon to carry around on the battlefield. It obviously isn't going to be as good as Boba Fett's because he's a hero, and it probably won't function the same. But it'll be cool to play with that. One of the rebels on Hoth is carrying a bowcaster, which is awesome because we got to play with a bowcaster as a Wookiee in Battlefront 2.
But now you don't have to be a Wookiee.
Right, now you don't have to be a Wookiee. They're mixing in a lot of the things that I liked from the PSP version of the Battlefront series in with the console, which is what I've been waiting for. And then we also got to see some of the new alien heads actually in combat, which is cool. We got to see a couple of different species
there was
thrown in there.
I saw a Zabrak, a Twi'lek, whatever species, what's his name? Cad Bane is, and you can play Rodians too. We already know that, and as well as Celestians.
Right. So
there's probably going to be more.
Yeah, the main rebel species seem to be represented with a couple of new ones. As far as I've seen, I mean, the game's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to it.
You said about Walker Assault. I think the reason that you see more of that in the trailer is that like that's what we've already seen in the beta.
Right.
So
everyone knows
they
that
don't want to give too much away.
Right.
More maybe.
Well, I mean, if you played the beta, you got to see all the game modes that were available, but they were unavailable for the beta. It said not available in the beta. They showed Fighter Squadron or Squadron Battle in the new trailer, which I was really excited for. That's where you hear him say something about beating him into submission. It's the Rebel commander coming over. Yeah. So that's going to be a fun game mode to play for all of you that like to fly starfighters. That they showcased that, and they showcased Walker Assault and what I believe to be like the TDM kind of game. I can't remember what that was called, but we haven't seen the majority of the other game modes, and we've still got to see a full 15-wave survival. So that's going to be the first thing that I play when I get the game.
One other thing that was in there was when Boba Fett was flying over the Starlight. He said, "Oh, that's not going to happen again."
Yeah.
So I don't know if they just put that in there to be humorous, or if does that confirm that Boba Fett got out of the Sarlacc?
I'm pretty sure that was confirmed already.
I don't think so.
I've heard
video games are iffy, anyways, with canon and stuff.
Right. But for a long time, there's been the common consensus that Boba Fett gets out of the Sarlacc.
Well,
I can't remember if they can. I definitely they did confirm it.
I definitely think he did. I don't think it's officially confirmed anywhere, but most people think they're going to make a spin-off movie about him, so
yeah, I mean,
I think he got out, and people like him enough that he'll probably get out anyways.
Yeah, Boba's cool. I mean, I think they mostly put it in there for humor, but it's still kind of a good thing to think about. I mean, you have to think about it, though. Boba, in the time of I guess this is set in Galactic Civil War, so he wouldn't be super old. We just won't see him in any of the new movies. He would have to, if they made a spin-off movie, it'd have to be, right after Return of the Jedi, right before Episode 7, and he'd have to die. Because by that point, he's already the age of Rex.
Yeah, because he is older than the main characters of the original trilogy, since he was like 7 or 8.
Oh, well, no, I guess
10 in Attack of the Clones.
Wait a minute, how does that work? Because Rex is old in between.
Well, he's accelerated aging. Boba's not.
Oh, he was part of the late batch here.
Well, no, Boba was a special clone that Jango requested.
Yeah.
So. All right.
Man, I'm so sick. I'm not even remembering my knowledge right now. What the heck?
Yeah, especially for clones.
Yeah, no kidding. It's disgusting.
Next thing in the news section, JJ was recently said during a red carpet interview about how Luke wasn't officially in the trailer. Like, we didn't see his face. He said that it wasn't an accident. So to me, that means that Luke is probably going to be a big deal when he does show up, which that's pretty much, you can guess that.
Right.
But he's probably not going to be in the majority of the film. He's going to be more towards the end.
I didn't even draw the first conclusion at all. And now that I think about it, that's a great point. I was thinking of it purely as the second, that he's obviously not going to be there. We're not going to see Luke Skywalker for the majority of Episode 7. They're going to try and force these new characters on us. They're going to want us to bond with them, watch them grow, before you get the enticing, let me see Luke.
The big nostalgic kick.
So it'll be cool. I mean, I feel like maybe it'll be Luke saving everyone from Kylo Ren and all getting away at the end of the movie, and then it'll almost be like Episode 4 where they're just like chilling on a frigate or something and having a chat.
Maybe. I think that was Episode 5 to me.
Or, yeah. I'm sorry. Wow.
Chilling on a frigate.
Yeah, exactly.
Alright, well, that's all we have for the news section for this week. On to reviews. The first thing up is the Star Wars Rebels episode, Always Two There Are, which introduced, well, we already saw the male Inquisitor in the last part of the last episode, but this introduced, this first time we see both of them together and the female Inquisitor.
The Seventh Sister.
Right. The Seventh Sister and the Fifth Brother working together.
So they don't work together very well at all.
Yeah, they seem like they both know the mission, but they, want to compete a little bit.
Yeah, they want to go about it a different way.
Right, because when the Fifth Brother tries to kill Ezra and the Seventh Sister stops him.
Yeah.
And he says, "The kill is mine," but she's like, "You know, we gotta think about this more before
Right.
we just go in guns a-blazing."
See, and I feel like the brother is going to be a better. They're not Sith. Like, we know they're not Sith, but he would make a better evil guy because he's going for the kill. Whereas she toys with Ezra forever. I mean, and that's like ends up being the downfall of most of the Sith Lords. They just don't get to it fast enough.
Their mission was kind of to get Ahsoka, so if they did kill him right away, then
yeah. But I mean, you could argue also that if they knew he died, they might come back for vengeance. They know it's not the Jedi way to come back for vengeance, but Ahsoka's not a Jedi.
Right, but they seem like they don't necessarily like they kind of just lump her in.
Yeah.
With it, since she's a good side Force user.
Right.
So.
I mean, I guess they could have gone about it killing off killing off Zeb and just like killing them one by one and leaving Ezra at the end, and then as like the rebels came, just killed Ezra and
maybe
going after Kanan and Ahsoka. But I mean, it was just done. They went about their job very.
It didn't even sound like they were worried about Kanan.
No, not at all.
They wanted Ahsoka because she's more powerful.
I'm surprised that they knew about her that fast. I mean, I know Darth Vader felt her, but they couldn't confirm that. They could just guess.
Well, no, because he said
dispatch an Inquisitor after her.
Yeah, at the end of the little mini movie.
Right.
He said that the apprentice of Anakin lives.
Yeah.
So he knows that she's out there. So yeah, the Inquisitors do know. They just gotta find her.
Yeah. And they just aren't doing a very good job at it.
Right now, yeah. One thing I didn't really understand was so yeah, they use the codes to open the door to the station, but then they get in there and the power's out. So I don't know how the doors opened in the first place, unless it's like some backup system.
Yeah, that was weird. I didn't think about that.
And why is the Seventh Sister already there? We
You
didn't see her leave. We saw the fifth brother leave.
I feel like she stays with him.
Or maybe she tagged, she stowed away.
I feel like if that would have happened, they would have covered that.
Maybe, yeah.
She probably just travels with him. They're probably paired with a brother and sister.
It didn't seem like they knew. He didn't seem like he knew she was there though, or vice versa.
Well, yeah. I mean, maybe she was out with the probes, and he was just dispatched to
or maybe
for whatever reason.
Maybe she was on a different Star Destroyer that also they detected something at that station too.
Maybe even
so they just didn't really seem like they needed to cover that, I guess.
Right.
But,
my two big things about this episode was they were I was confused as to how Kanan, being the way he has been to Rex, how he didn't know or he didn't assume it was Rex's fault all of a sudden, and then B,
about what?
That they got attacked by Inquisitors. And then
why would he think it was his fault though?
Well, because Rex gave him those coordinates to go to that base.
Oh, okay.
And then they were jumped by two very, very powerful Inquisitors in comparison to Kanan.
Well, maybe that's showing that he's a little bit, he's thinking about stuff now rather than just jumping to conclusions. He still doesn't have total trust, but he's thinking more clearly.
Yeah, I don't know, it felt like too big of a jump too quickly for that.
Okay.
But B, I was confused as to how in the Rebels Recon episode, they said that the Inquisitors were a small batch, they're a small group, and then they mentioned the fact that they have numbers after their names, but we talked about it, and they're small numbers, so I guess we could assume that it's a small group.
I feel like there's about no more than 30 of them.
Right.
There could be as low as 10.
Exactly.
10
brothers and 10 sisters.
Right.
I just always assumed that the Inquisitors were a larger group, almost like...
Well, remember, Force users they're few and far between, and the ones the Empire can recruit are probably even fewer.
Well, that's true.
So.
But I mean, if they adopted the idea of abducting every Force-sensitive child, instead of what the Jedi Order did, where they more or less abduct them, but I mean, they show up and they tell the family, hey, it's a Force-sensitive child, we want to take them to the Jedi Temple and teach them. Instead of doing that, they just march the Stormtroopers in and take the child and turn it into an Inquisitor.
Or maybe they want to keep it at a low number because if there's too many of them, they could overwhelm Darth Vader and Palpatine to control.
That's true. But that's kind of the way of the Sith, and Palpatine knows that.
He knows that, right? So maybe that's why they keep it at a low number.
It's also true. I just always assumed that the Inquisitors were a large group. That they were almost... Darth Sidious's Sith army that he.
Well, I think they're definitely they definitely take commands from them directly.
Oh yeah.
Well, they take commands from Darth Vader. Well, not even that. No, yeah, they do take commands from Darth Vader. Sorry, I was thinking about something else. Yeah.
I don't know. Just caught me off guard that they were a small group, not a relatively large group. That's all.
Certainly larger than the amount of Jedi that have banded together.
This is also true.
Yeah. As of right now.
As of the ones we've met as well. We don't know which other ones are going to be Kanan.
Right. Well, that meet up with Ahsoka and Kanan too.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. We can assume that there's a few that lived, but we haven't covered yet. So.
Right.
So next we were going to talk about Kanan, the last Padawan comic series.
Right. There's been a number of issues out of this already, but the comic essentially covers Kanan's backstory, dealing with it starts with right before Order 66. You see how his master got killed. You see his transition from being a Padawan to going into hiding and just acting like someone else. His troubles that he goes through while he's still trying to get away from the clones and everything. And then the last issue that came out actually goes back while he was in training at the Jedi Temple and just shows how he meets his master, who was Depa Billaba, who's not a real well-known Jedi. I believe we see her in the arena scene in Attack of the Clones, though.
She's the one with the red tips on the end of her.
No, she has like beads or marks right here. There's nothing really special look-wise about her besides those two things, because she's human.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you just want to know more about Kanan, I probably would rank the series overall right now at about 7, and it's gonna keep going. It doesn't have a finite amount of issues like Shattered Empire did with 4,
Right.
but I'm not sure how long it's gonna go. So I would say pick it up.
I wanted to read it. I mean, I just want more backstory on Kanan as he is.
I'll put a picture up of Depa Billaba, or I probably already did, but
Right.
yeah. I think that's just look her up. Yeah. All right, that's it for the review section, and now we'll get into the theories and speculation for this week. And this week we've had a theory about how Lux from the Clone Wars might show up in Rebels, since he was a rebel in the Clone Wars on Onderon against the Separatists, and Ahsoka's already back, and they kind of had a little bit of a thing.
Yeah, exactly. That thought's been not really burning in the back of my mind, but it's been something that I've been wondering about the series. Mostly because when I started to go back and rewatch the Clone Wars episodes, because if you guys don't know already, I'm a huge Clone Wars fan.
What about Darth?
Yeah.
If you're a Star Wars fan, you should be a Clone Wars fan.
Exactly. I watched so many Clone Wars episodes, just constantly. I love the series. It's the only one that I've ever really dug into. When I was watching it, I kind of wondered, because they had a little thing going on, and then when Ahsoka left the Jedi Order, one of the first questions that I asked myself was, I wonder if she's gonna go hook up with Lux and hide.
Because now she can have feelings, but she also may know that it's better not to, just because of her Jedi teachings.
Well, it's I was kind of figuring if she wasn't killed, because at the time we didn't know she was going to be in Rebels, if she wasn't killed, she would become a gray Jedi. That was just my first thought. And that's, in the end, what happened. She became a gray Jedi, she went off the face of the planet, that whole thing. I would assume she probably went to somebody she knew, and I guess Lux would be that person. Or she just simply lived on her own forever and hasn't seen Lux. But my theory is he will definitely show up in the Rebels series this season, and we'll get to see him interact with Ahsoka, especially if she's going to die at the end of the season. Yeah. But I don't think she'll die at the end of the season.
Well, that's a different...
That's a different theories and speculation.
Yeah, I don't know if they'll bring it back. I certainly hope so. It's definitely a possibility. When I rewatched some of the episodes that he was in, I like him more than I did at first. didn't really pay much attention to it at first.
Yeah, same. I was kind of wondering where if he was just another back character that didn't have any influence on the plot of the series, and I feel like he was underplayed. He'll probably show up and have a big deal in Rebels.
Even if he's not in Rebels, I feel like at some point they're going to tell some sort of story, probably in comic form, of what Ahsoka did during that time.
Yeah,
and if anything, I would like to see him in that, if that ever becomes a thing, which it seems feasible.
Yeah, I definitely don't see why they I can't see them refusing to release information or some like a comic or maybe even a movie about what Ahsoka did, but between leaving the Jedi Order and coming into Rebels. We'll probably never see a movie of it, but it could be like a short film that they release on YouTube or something.
Yeah, maybe.
At the bare minimum.
Well, at the bare minimum, I'd say a book or a comic, yeah. Alright, well, that's it for our show today. Let us know what you guys think in the comments. Hit that subscribe button for weekly videos of Starbase and any other videos we decide to put up. So, may the Force be with you.